Chemotherapy is a word that probably strikes and does strike fear into everyone. So in solidarity with friends of mine who are undergoing the treatment, I decided to go to the hairdresser, get the hair cut and then shave it. As you know, baldness is a stigma that sometimes people get upset with. But I'm happy to say that the individuals that I know and that I support are very happy and accept their situation, and all they ever do is pray for the elusive miracle that will visit them one day and they will be clear of this terrible disease. I would ask each and every one of you this morning that know someone who is suffering to say hello and bid them good morning. Ask them about their problem, and I'm quite sure they will readily tell you the support and encouragement that they get from so many people. As I stand here this morning, I think of my brother when he was diagnosed with cancer and he lost all his hair. I might add, he had a lot more hair than ever I had. For me to shave my head was no big deal because I didn't have much anyway. But I remember sitting in a social club with him and I was very annoyed because two young men were laughing at his baldness, and I wanted to go and speak to them, and my brother pulled me back and he said, "George, sometimes people do laugh at people that are bald, but they don't understand maybe the reason why." He calmed me down and I learned a big lesson that night, that sometimes even we have to be tolerant with those who don't show any tolerance. If you're a great Who supporter, you should look into Roger Daltrey Teenage Cancer Trust. It's a cancer trust that Roger is the patron of. He discovered, as many of us do at times, that when you're in the hospital, you have a waiting time before you receive the treatment, or you're of an age where you require your own independence. Teenage Cancer Trust helps to get the independence for young people where they can have their room and decorate it to the standard that they require, with posters of the Kinks, the Beatles, the Who, Lady Gaga, Blur. That's just to name some. There are probably many more, but it leads to their independence. I'm also immediately thinking of David Quaife and the work that he does on behalf of his late brother, bass player Pete Quaife. Dave was very visionary when he kept attending the hospital with his brother. There was a lot of time when Pete was sitting in the wheelchair or waiting to be attended to and nothing to do. So Dave has had the vision to form a foundation to raise money, and that money goes towards computers, laptops, iPads for people to fiddle about with while they're waiting on their treatment. Young people especially are very dear to my heart when they have this disease, because their whole world around them has collapsed. They don't know whether they are going to be cured or whether they're going to die. So at this time I would ask you once again, you may know someone. It may be someone in your family or a close friend, relative or a neighbour. When you have the time, say a word of cheer, a word of encouragement in order for them to get through the day that they're going through when you speak to them. So this morning, may I just say to you that chemotherapy does strike fear into people. The biggest fear that sometimes they have is they lose their hair, they have got to go and get measured up for a wig because they feel embarrassed. Some people take it okay, they don't care, because it's just one of the progressions of the illness, and they have the personality to see them through. So I would ask you once again that if you come across anyone through our music channels, on YouTube, on Facebook, who has the problem, who is suffering, or who has a family member who has the problem, stop at their page and say hello, bid them good morning or good evening, and offer as much support as you can. Cancer is a scourge in this world, it's a scourge to the human beings. Our young women and older women who have to go and get mastectomies. How terrible is that when the whole structure of the body changes? But equally so, how much encouragement do we receive from these young women that go ahead with the treatment and come out with reconstructive surgery in some cases none, and they go about their daily business and they try and be as happy as possible, because normally they have a family to bring up, they have a man to look after, they have sons and daughters, and they have a dog or some other pet. So thank you very much for listening, and I bid you good morning from Glasgow, Scotland. Thank you. Good morning again. I thought in closing I would introduce you to Sasha, my trusty pet who has got a sore paw, as you can see. Sasha will be undergoing some training as a therapist, where her therapeutic qualities will be used in some hospitals and wards where the dog is allowed to come in and to sit with a child who is undergoing treatment. She's a very good dog and a very happy dog, and she brightens up the life of a lot of young people, not just in hospitals but also in the village where I live. So say hello, Sasha, and good morning and goodbye to everyone.